ain't tryna see your hand out. No freebies, better pay out. Y'all so cheap, man, we stay out. Feel like a breeze, don't play around. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. We left the whole crowd sleepy, and that's why you really gon' need me. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. We left the whole crowd sleepy, and that's why you really gon' need me.
Yeah, I've been on the road chill. 31, baby, living out my dream still. I just got off a tour, the product in store I'm playing. I'll be rocking with the guy in the horse, yeah. You just hopped in the coupe, got lock in the shoes. I worship his Zeus, you not gonna shoot. I'm watching you do the campaign, swear I'm blocking these fools. I got studio time, I got my watch in the booth, yeah. They be praying on my downfall. I'm an outlaw, switching pulls every stanza like Southpaw. How come your mouth off when y'all soft? No, you see me on the trampoline, about to bounce off, yeah. It's a matter of time, I know you see me standing in the front, back of the line. I happen to grind every minute, passing the time. We ain't never been friends, how you acting like mine? Y'all need contentment, y'all got resentment. God's grace lead to repentance. You live for mentions, that make me question how you gonna handle a gift if you don't know how to steward a blessing. You can't do it, you don't want a dream chase, you don't put your hands to it. You know the circle strong, 4th and 40 got a pun. No, I don't do what I want, I do it for the kingdom come. I ain't know that I was flowing, I ain't showing sign of slowing. I am going for the juggler, mate, the one to debate. But you seem to want it for free. I ain't doing video unless I'm gonna get paid, yeah. I've been working on a gift, I ain't doing free shows. You can call me here again, you can call me what you want, it's really absurd. Just because you're the church doesn't really mean you don't have to pay me what I'm worth.
I ain't tryna see your hand out. No freebies, better pay out. Y'all so cheap, man, we stay out. Feel like a breeze, don't play around. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. We left the whole crowd sleepy, and that's why you really gon' need me. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. We left the whole crowd sleepy, and that's why you really gon' need me. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleepy, and that's when you really gon' need me.
Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drive the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drive the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Yeah, I need it now, told him on the lay. I've been moving dog, yeah, I'm on the way. I don't hear the talk, don't care what they say. I don't got no patience, I can't ever wait. I've been trying to get it, running up all these digits, and I've been in the gym. I've been up doing minutes, I just put in that work. Told them it's strictly business, and I see through the face. They all just burning bridges. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told them check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drive the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drive the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Yeah, they don't want it done like I want it, dog. Yeah, they say they want it, then they took the summer off. I've been going down the list, checking numbers off. I was checking on your numbers, told them something's off. I was at the bottom, now you know I'm climbing. Now they sending deals, they know I ain't signing. They been trying to sell it, they know I ain't buying. When they send a text, dog, I ain't replying. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drive the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drive the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm
yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test, now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close, I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up from my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in mine, yeah. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late. Seen him down bad, now they tryna hate. Same ones try to hit me for the raise. Got a meal, now they coming with a blaze. Check the numbers, fam, I swear I'm getting paid. I'm a Don just like the Perrier. It's one time when I'm looking at a face. On the low like I'm pushing up the bass. Told him come down and I'll meet him at a gate. Got a check and I bought myself a place. They get some money and they blow it on bait. I don't flex but I'm pushing all the weight. Told them all I swear I got it's what it takes. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. What is going on, Mafia? We got an amazing show for you guys tonight as Bitcoin had a pretty boring weekend. Kind of just going sideways here, guys, but I want to break down those local levels as we may be able to potentially, we have a lot of mixed signals. We got a daily red dot. We got some money flow coming up on the lower time frames. What are we going to see next here for Bitcoin? There are some things pointing to a potential push up. What is that next key level of resistance that you need to be keeping your eye on? Shout out to V-Sun, said bullish on Frankie's calves. I don't have shoes on right now. I don't have shoes on. I don't want to show those hogs on the show here, guys. But if I had shoes on, I'd smack those calves for you. But guys, I want to take a look at the possibility of potentially coming up here. Like I said, we do have that daily red dot. However, we do have money flow coming up on some interesting time frames, as well as some other things I'm looking at potentially pointing towards a pump. And I want to talk about that next likely stop if we do get that move up. The key levels of resistance you guys need to be keeping an eye on. And we're going to be breaking it all down here. We'll also be taking a look at those altcoins. Shout out to Javit the Barber tuning in. What is going on, bro? Welcome in. But we're going to be taking a look at the altcoins. We'll take a look at Ethereum. We'll take a look at Solana, even though Solana is literally in the same spot that we left it last week. But we're going to be breaking it all down. Shout out to you guys. Hopefully you all had a great weekend. You touched some grass. As Bitcoin did nothing. I actually said that on Friday's live stream. I was like, go touch some grass, guys. Bitcoin will probably just go sideways. So, yeah, we'll take a look here at the charts, guys. Hopefully I can clear up kind of where we are looking for price to go next. But before we jump into it, guys, don't forget to smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get gives you guys some free chances to win some crypto. And if we hit 550 likes on tonight's live stream, I will be adding some extra stuff to the giveaways. Shout out to Tony D. Tony, maybe we could do a poll. We'll figure it out. If we hit the like goal, we'll figure out what we want to add to the giveaways. Maybe some hats, maybe some, I almost said Frankie Candle shoes. We'll give away maybe some hats, maybe some extra crypto, maybe some Chainlink, Cardano. Maybe we'll give away some Solana. Who knows? But smash that like button if you guys want some free crypto. Shout out to Darren Does Things tuning in. Said K Diggity, no boundaries with hands, but with feet. Shout out to Darren Does Things. What is going on, bro? K Diggity showing love for the goats out there. Said I can appreciate Frankie's boundaries with feet. Yeah, shout out to K Diggity. We'll show the calves, but I'm not trying to show those. I mean, I do got some nice feet. I'm not going to lie, but I charge for that, guys. I charge for that. But anyway, shout out to Tyler Durden, Rob the Crypto Snob. You guys know who the mods are. Drop some love for them in the chat right now. We got Captain Kirk, Crypto Billy, and you guys know who they are, so show them some love. Shout out to Nibbles Dribbles. What is going on, bro? Welcome in. We got Jay Violet in the chat. Green Day Profits. What is going on? We got French Toaster. Mikey20. What is going on? Said pump it up. We're going to try to figure out if we can pump this thing a little bit here. V-Sun is shouting out or talking to Tyler. We got Carlos, Gen Z showing some love for the mods. We got Keith tuning in. Shout out to Amy Lives Crypto. I always want to say Amy loves crypto. But what is going on, guys? You're the man. Shout out to Flame. I appreciate you, bro. You're the man, not me. Don't worry about me, man. I appreciate you, though. But you're the man. You the man. But anyway, shout out to Jay Gilly in the chat. What is going on, bro? But without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump in here. Like I said, not too much has happened here, but I want to pull up some of those key levels. So let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Let's get into it. So here we are, guys. And I am waiting on Mrs. Candles to bring me some Aztecian Cactus Moss Water, as this has been a little bit of a slow Monday for me. Shout out to Hodl Crypto. What is going on, brother? Welcome in. Shout out to Blair as well. What is up, bro? Any true businessman has multiple income streams. Shout out to K Diggity. And if crypto doesn't work out, at least I got the feet picks income coming in. It does come in pretty heavy, I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, guys, no one knows that they're my feet, right? I posed to somebody else. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump on in here. Now, as you guys know, Bitcoin has been, over the grand scheme of things, right? Bitcoin has just been absolutely brutally sideways. And I actually want to go ahead and jump onto the higher time frames a little later in the show and talk to you guys about, kind of what happens typically when we see these sideways consolidations. Obviously, we're going sideways right now. And we usually compare that to areas of price action like this. We also had, all the major ranges. I'll go over this in a second, but all these major ranges oftentimes do pop up in the summers, guys. And, oftentimes, when you get that sideways consolidation during the summer, typically once you get into that September, October, November kind of area, that is really where you see the bigger moves happen. And with where we are in the cycle, those moves that happen at that kind of Q4 area do tend to be to the upside. So I want to break that down in a minute. But first off, let's just go ahead and start on the higher time frames here. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not really going to spend too much time on these higher time frames because everything remains just about exactly the same as we are just ranging around. And these higher time frames, money flow is still coming out on these higher time frames. 3-day money flow did just cross over into the red. However, as I was talking to the premium Discord a little bit earlier, we do have the VWAPs coming up here, which could potentially give us a little pop to the upside. So again, locally, as you see these money flow crossovers, remember the money flow indicates the longer term trend. So just because we're seeing that money flow crossover into the red does not necessarily mean that we're just going to see an instant nuke to the floor. As a matter of fact, I would probably argue, other than the red dot, there could be some things pointing to some local upside here. But again, and especially with these higher time frame green dots looking to print, obviously that 2-day green dot is now printing as well. 3-day VWAP coming up looking for the green dot. 4-day VWAP also coming up here. So when you see these higher time frame green dots, oftentimes we do get a move to the upside, but it does not negate the fact that we do have all this money flow coming out. So just remember, keep an eye on that higher time frame money flow, but very likely that's not going to affect us in the immediate term, right? So there you go. There's the high time frame analysis. Everything remains the same. Got to keep an eye on that money flow coming out. But other than that, right, 2-day green dot, right, daily red dot is technically printing here, but you can kind of see money flow is generally trending to the upside here. It's kind of wonked out. To be quite honest, I am still kind of leaning a bit neutral here, guys. But as we start to come down to some of these lower or higher hourly time frames, you can see VWAP on your 12-hour is starting to crank up towards that 0 line. 10-hour green dot is printing. Actually, a pretty nice trigger wave there as well. So that could potentially give us a local push to the upside. And then once we get kind of past this 12-hour time frame, this is kind of where things start to look a little bit more like we may want to push to the upside, especially if that 12-hour and 16-hour green dot print. With those trigger waves, this could potentially either unprint this red dot on the daily, or if we confirm this, which will happen in about 2 hours and 5 minutes, if we do confirm that red dot, we could see a quick move back up for an immediate green dot, right? I like to call those VWAP flips. We actually kind of had that happen here just a little bit, this is really this is kind of throwing us off a little bit with that red dot on the daily. But, as you come to that 16-hour green dot looking to print, 12-hour green dot looking to print, 10-hour green dot printing, 8-hour looking for the green dot as well. And this is kind of the thing that I'm looking at, guys. If we are going to get a push to the upside with this 8-hour green dot, if you come on down to the lower time frames, money flow on that 30-minute is starting to come up here. And then once I bring up these local levels of support and resistance, we will kind of talk about the volume profiles and where we could anticipate price to go. So locally here, if that 30-minute money flow crosses over into the green as we get that 8-hour green dot to print, this could potentially give us a bit more of a push to the upside where we have a lot of really, really critical resistance sitting just above us. I also want to pull up the heat maps and talk about where the local liquidity is sitting, which may act as a magnet for price. So got to keep an eye on that. We'll pull that up in just a minute. 4-hour green dot is obviously confirmed. Taking a look here at some of these lower time frames. I'll be honest, guys. Right now, things are very chopped up, and this is not my opinion, right? Like, you can see money flow was coming out, came back up. We're getting very near this previous high on the money flow here on the 2-hour. Even the 3-hour, up, down. Things are a little bit chopped up here. But again, as I'm talking about this 30-minute money flow crossover with the 8-hour green dot, those higher hourly green dots with the trigger waves, this could potentially push us up a bit higher. And once we pull up the volume profile to give you guys good context into, what will invalidate that move up. But yeah, definitely a bit chopped up here, at least on the lower time frames. Doesn't mean you can't trade it, but let's see here. Bada boom, bada bing. Take a look at the 80-minute, 45-minute. Yeah, 45-minute money flow was crossing over into the green. Now it's coming back out. And this is just a reality of the situation, guys. Very, very choppy here. But overall, that money flow did cross over into the green. Getting a little pullback here. I'm going to pull up the key levels in just a second. But yeah, that 30-minute money flow, if we could get that back up into the green as that 8-hour green dot starts to print, I think that's our best shot at getting a local move up here. And you might be asking yourself, well, Frankie, 30-minute money flow comes into the green. Move up, move up. Where are we going? Let's go ahead and pull that up real quick. So first off, I'll pull up the local range here. We are not potentially. We are currently put within this volume profile. Value area low. In case you guys do want this on your chart, value area low coming in here at about 58.6. POC sitting at 60,665, and then that value area high is sitting at $61,438. Now, there are very specific levels of resistance that I'm watching. Now, obviously, due to the laws of the volume profile, as long as we are able to stay above this value area low, and I'll actually even label this for you guys, value area low, get the POC in here, and then the value area high. So, if we are able to remain above this value area low, in my opinion, we could potentially look up towards that POC, flip that POC, and look for price to potentially come up to that value area high. So that is kind of the local roadmap that I am looking at if we are able to get that 30-minute money flow crossover, that 8-hour green dot. And you can see here, we do have a little bit of a fall off in volume, so we are able to come up to this local level, crack these highs. I do think you will be able to get up to that value area high. But again, things are very mixed right now. But locally, if we see that 30-minute money flow crossover indeed happen, that's kind of what I will be looking at for that bigger move up. In a hyper locally, maybe we get a little cool off here or something like that. But as long as you hold above that value area low, could be a potentially good sign to get that continuation to the upside. Now, if you pull your local Fibonacci retracement here, I would actually pull this local low here. You do have some kind of confluence down here. So again, the importance of this value area low the value area low in general is very important, right? Because if we lose that level, that could potentially lead to a bigger drop to the downside. I'm actually going to talk about some lower levels as well, although as we remain in this volume profile, right, there's no reason for me to potentially, or look for a big drop to the downside until we lose the value area low. And again, the bias here would be to come up towards that POC value area high. But if we do get that drop down, I want to talk about those key levels below, which remain exactly the same as last week because they haven't changed, right? We just basically went sideways all weekend. So, as we look at that, that's kind of the local levels I'm looking at and the local signals to start that move up if we are going to get it. And again, like the confusion there is with this daily green dot. So the hope for the move up would be to get that red dot to either not confirm or print or confirm, right? And then get an instant green dot to print right after. And just to show you kind of an example of what that looks like right here is a pretty good example. Let me see. I'll try to find it. Yeah, like right here. Let me go ahead and pull up the current price action. Right, you had a red dot, and then immediately after you printed a green dot. Now, you didn't get a big move up here, but that's kind of what you're looking for, right? You're looking for the green dot, and then it is basically just a VWAP fake out on the zero line, right? VWAP comes down, crosses over that zero line, and then crosses right back up, printing that green dot right after the red one. So if we can get that with the 30-minute money flow crossover, I think that is our best chance to come up. But that red dot, you can't completely ignore it. So just keep that in mind. That's kind of why I'm leaning a little bit more neutral in the short term, or in the medium term, I should say, as that red dot kind of puts adds murkiness to that water. So that is those are the local levels, right? Stay above the value area low, look for higher. Now, if I go ahead and hide at that range, we'll pull up our macro range here. And obviously, guys, this remains exactly the same. This is the range that we've been in for, I would say, about, 180 days or something like that. Let me go ahead and pull let me actually measure that out. 173 days of just completely sideways price action here, at least in the long term. These are pretty big swings up and down, 28, 30% back and forth. Excuse me, but for the most part, we've just been going sideways over the past few months, right? And this is actually what we were looking at on the live stream. I was saying, this is the worst case scenario, right? As we were bouncing here, I'm like, I hope we don't just reject and come back down to the value area low. And then this was really what I did not want to see. This is the most boring, price action in the long term. But right now, based off this larger volume profile, this is another reason why I would look for a potential push to the upside here, and kind of why I'm not just calling for lower prices based off that red dot on the daily with the money flow coming out on the higher time frames. Because remember, this is very important to realize, especially if you want to trade. Money flow indicates a longer-term trend. You might be thinking well, Frankie, that 2-day or that 3-day money flow crossing into the red looks pretty bearish. Sure, right? Sure. That is definitely the case. But with the VWAP coming up, the green and red dots react quicker than a money flow crossover. The money flow crossover is giving you that kind of filter on what you should be favoring, longs or shorts. So if we get that push to the upside, you are looking at this as a potential lackluster push up to potentially put in one of those lower highs to continue to the downside. But that green dot about to print on the 3-day is likely to give us a push up. And when you zoom in on something like the 4 hour, right, if we were to get that push up off that green dot on the 3-day, right, it could give you a 4% pump into this next key level that I'm looking at, and I will talk about why this is a key level in just a second. Or if we push up to this next level, which we've been keeping an eye on the live stream forever, and this is the 786 daily level sitting at about 65, between about $65,000 and $66,000 is kind of the major level that I'm looking at. But this is yeah, if we do get that move up, this is a very key level of resistance, and I'll show you why. If I pull up exo charts here, let me go ahead and pull up high block capital. This is actually Aave. This is something we were looking at on the premium live stream earlier today. But if I pull up the 3-month time frame here and we take a look at the heat map, or I'm sorry, let me pull up the 1 month. Bada boom. What am I doing here? Bada bing. There we go. Okay. So if you take a look here, right here from this swing high at about $63,000, you can see we do have a pretty hot spot of liquidity sitting just above those highs. Now, pull up TradingView, right? That is this 62,771, right? Just at about above $63,000. The liquidity is sitting up here. So if we are able, and we also do have another key level up there. I don't think I'm going to have it on this chart, am I? Yeah, I don't have it on this chart, but we also do have a daily naked point of control sitting just above this as well. So again, it's not that if we come up to this level, I am going to short, but if we come up to this level and we start seeing those bearish confirmations, it could be an area to potentially look for a little bit of a pullback, because as we have that liquidity, not only is this likely going to be a magnet for price, right? Now, again, this is somewhat local, right? This is not, if we pull up a higher time frame, let me zoom out here just a bit. And let me pull up the higher time frame. Yeah, here's the 3-month. You can see there is a whole lot of liquidity sitting here between about $70,000 and $75,000, and this is going to be the biggest area of liquidity locally, right? Or not locally, but in the long term. So this is likely going to be a stronger magnet and more of an important level to watch than this little level that we have above here. But this is here, right? This level right at 63K does have that little liquidity sitting there. So it doesn't mean that if we come up to that level and take that liquidity, that we are just instantly going to reject and go back down to lower lows, right? But I will be looking for potential scalp shorts up there if I do get the confirmations. However, what I think may be a little bit more likely is if we get above this level, and this has all remained the same, guys. Again, I don't want to sound like a broken record here or sound like I'm beating a dead horse. You guys know I love animals, but, this is the key level, right? If we do get above here, we want to flip that golden pocket, that value area low, and more importantly, the daily naked point of control that we have sitting just above that swing failure point. If we get above that, that's where I think we have the best chance to come up to the 786 between 64,000. I would call it between about 64.5 and about 66K, right? And again, we do have the daily level sitting there as well. So there is confluence on this level, and based off the volume profile as well as the Fibonacci retracements. This is, once you flip that golden pocket, you're expecting the 786, and then once you hold above the value area low, you're expecting the POC, which is sitting at $67,000. So there's many reasons to look higher once we flip these levels, right? So, and again, maybe at this point we have the 3-day green dot, etc. But that's the key zone, right? I don't really want to spend too much time here overcomplicating things because this stuff is all exactly the same as it has been, right, for the past 11 days, almost 12 days, right? We've just been going sideways, and it's like, hey, that's the key level to get above, right? Because once you get above the value area low, you can potentially start your journey to the POC and the value area high, as long as you understand that this is the kind of biggest level, in my opinion. If we break that golden pocket, this is that next level, what would be the highest likelihood of putting in a macro lower high and then continuing down to much lower prices. And why would you be potentially expecting that? Simply just based off the high time frame money flow. But again, that takes time to play out, right? It's not just because we got that crossover that we're looking for a massive dump. If we get that green dot, we can get a pretty big move, right? And then at that point, we can reassess the situation. Are you getting the signals to look for the lower high here, just like we were looking at this golden pocket, right? As we came up here, we were looking at a retracement to the upside for a push into the golden pocket, and we knew this was an area that you could potentially put the lower high in at, and what happened? We wound up actually coming down. Now, again, we didn't put the lower low in, but very, very high likelihood that you're going to get a rejection there, and we didn't know if this was going to be the big drop or if we're going to come up to that 786, and then we can assess the situation up there. Are we getting the bearish signals? If so, we could take some potential short positions in anticipation of the bigger drop. If we don't get them, maybe we can look for higher, but that is the key level. We got to get above, I mean, I would call it 63K. Flip 63K, 65 to 66 is likely. Flip 66K, 67K is the POC right above. It's kind of annoying. We have a decent bit of resistance above us, guys. Like, if we're going to come back up to 70K, we have a lot of work to do. It doesn't mean we can't do it, but there is a lot of work to do, because oftentimes I would say if you flip that 786, that's where I'm looking up to 70K, only because that if you flip that 786, it invalidates that lower high to come in. Does that make sense? I think everybody knows why we look for the lower highs at these Fibonacci levels. But if you don't know, let me know in the chat. I'll explain it to you guys simply, right? But because we have that POC above, you do have to be somewhat careful. But again, I like to keep things simple in terms of the volume profile. So as long as you understand you can't ignore these levels of resistance, once you flip that value area low, you could anticipate to start your journey to fill that range in whole. And remember, that liquidity is sitting here starting at about $70,000, ranging all the way up to the all-time high, essentially, right? So if we start cracking into that 71K liquidity, that's where you could potentially start to see, right, come up to 70K. We know there's a whole lot of liquidity sitting here. I'll even mark it out on the chart, and I'll get it accurately, too. Starting at about 70,200 all the way up to 74K, I'll call it, right? So 70,000, like right about above this wick, all the way up to, basically up to the all-time high, right? So I would go ahead and say this is where a lot of the liquidity is sitting. I'll actually just put it above this wick. Bada boom. So there you go. And there's that liquidity. And now we know if we crack into this, we can anticipate a push to the upside. And two things can happen here, right? Either that liquidity is going to give us that push into all-time highs and maybe we get the pump. And then in that case, the longer-term bull flag will have played out, right? This is kind of how we look at price, right, to anticipate what's going to happen, right? We know the liquidity is there, and if that liquidity could get us above that all-time high, maybe that's where the bull flag breaks out. But again, if that were to happen, we need that 3-day money flow to fake back out into the green, because again, that 3-day money flow would be pointing more towards a continuation to the downside. But, once we get up into this liquidity up here, it could either give us the bigger push up or we could potentially get that liquidation wick, right, and then come back down, back into the range, and then back down to the lows, which I hope that doesn't happen, right, because that's just going to make it, if that were to play out something similar to what I just drew out, that would give us about, that would give us, we're not trying to do 207 days of sideways price action, right? But it's definitely a possibility with all that liquidity up there. If we get a major swing failure pattern up there, those are the two major things I'm going to be looking for, right? If we go into all-time highs, once again, right, next target for me would be about $81,000 would be the first major target if that bull flag is just going to break out. But again, money flow on the higher time frames is not necessarily pointing towards that. But yeah, we're pretty far away from that anyway, right? So those next major levels, get above that 63K level, into that 65 to 66K level, and then reassess the situation if we could get back up here, right? So there you go. For the most part, all remaining exactly the same as last week, but I like to break things down again for you guys. For anyone who was not tuned in or paying attention last week, I'd just like to update you guys. Let's see. Shout out to Groat said, oh man, Frankie sounds almost bullish. Shout out to Groat. Yeah, I mean, I would probably describe myself in the long term here, right? So let me give you my overall long-term analysis, right? Because there's a few things that I'm looking at. Obviously, right, this is a bull flag, right? And I will say, I am very glad that I don't just get blindly bullish, right? And I only bring what is on the charts, guys. I'm never going to come up here and tell you Bitcoin's going to $1 million because I just want to sound bullish, right? And again, like this plays out. It ages very well, right? I know it's hard on these pushes to the upside to not get super bullish. But when you see everybody getting super bullish as price pumps, all I do is stick to the charts, right? So when we got this push to the upside closer to 70K, what were we looking for here? If you watch the live streams, you will know we were watching that higher time frame money flow. At the time, it was the 2-day money flow. money flow was in the red, right? And we were saying, hey, as long as this money flow stays in the red, we have to anticipate that as a lackluster push to the upside to put in a lower high and continue to the downside. And everybody was like, no way, that can't happen. I don't know if they were saying it can't happen, but everyone was like, oh my God, how is this guy bullish? We're in a huge bull flag. But we knew, based off money flow, that there was a likely lower high to come in here, and especially because we had that 786 coming in right there, where that was a very high probability area to put in the lower high and break structure to the downside. If you watch the live stream, you remember I was talking about this. And thank God, right? I wasn't just getting randomly bullish here. We were looking for the rejection, and we wound up actually getting that move down to 51 to 52K. The dreaded 51 to 52K zone, which is what we were watching as the next key level of support to the downside. We wound up closing just above that level here on the higher time frames. But a lot of people were like, "This, we're pumping. Why are you bearish?" And this is important, guys. If you want to trade or even like swing trade these large swings on Bitcoin, this is extremely important for you to understand, because typically Twitter, YouTube, everybody's just bullish on this big pump to the upside. And that's okay, right? You could be bullish on this move up, right? We were looking for this pump to the upside as well based off the green dot. But we knew based off money flow it was likely going to be a lower high for a continuation down. And you can make money on that pump up, but you just have to understand that if there's a higher probability of that lower high coming in, it doesn't matter if your favorite influencer is bullish or someone on Twitter is bullish or your crypto friends are telling you to go into the moon. We just stick to the information. We knew we had that 786 as well as the money flow in the red, looking for the lower high and the continuation down. We are in the same exact situation right now. Now, obviously, this is only going to work until it doesn't, right? The trend is your friend. High, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? The trend is only your friend until the end. And this is a bullish continuation pattern, right? So technically it's a downtrend, but it's a bullish continuation pattern as well. So with that in mind, right, we are in the same exact position here. If we are going to come up, right, money flow is still in the red. 2-day money flow is kind of wonked out as well. But yeah, 3-day money flow is crossing over into the red. This would make you anticipate a continuation of the downtrend. And where is that lower high likely to come in? Very simply put, either the golden pocket, which we already are rejecting, right? Or if we can get back above that golden pocket, you could see that 786 be the lower high as well. Maybe you wick into the high of the bull flag there again. Now, this is just an if this then that statement, right? So if we come up here and we see bearish signals, we know, hey, and just so you know, if you're wondering like what were the bearish signals up here, they do appear, right? You have higher highs on your price action into the key level, right, with lower highs on your momentum waves. That is a bearish divergence, and on something like the 12 and the 16-hour and even the daily, which we also had this pop up on, is a big indication that you're going to get that continuation, right? And that gives you kind of an entry trigger to maybe take a position up here and wait for that lower low to come in. So again, if we're in the same exact situation right now where we have money flow on the higher time frames continuing to the downside. Why is this not popping up? Okay, there we go. We're in the same exact situation, and that rejection level, right, the golden pocket 786 that we would likely reject is sitting right here at about 65K. Right, and then the top of the bull flag sitting at about 67, which is also the POC of our macro range, right? So you have a lot of confluence up there as well. But if we don't get those bearish confirmations, right, it's not like you could just wait for this level to come in short and you're going to make $1 million, right? You have to make sure you're seeing those confirmations. And if you don't see those confirmations, right, money flow starts coming back up. There's no divergences. There's no liquidity grabs or anything like that. That's where you could potentially look for a continuation up to your next targets. So keep that in mind. It's always an if this, then that statement, right? Am I bullish or bearish? I'm both, right? It depends on the context that we're looking at. I'm bullish in the long term. I think going into Q4, we are likely going to see higher prices, which I'm going to get into in just a second. But, until proven otherwise, we are going to be at least looking for those lower highs to come in. But it's not just like, set a limit order up there and short, right? You don't want to do that. You're going to wind up losing all your money because if it flips bullish, you got to be ready to change your, you're going to have to change your sentiment. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue on. Somebody said Dave Digital in the chat. What is going on, bro? DD's in the chat. Guys, the letter D, not the little parentheses with the periods in the middle. Not that, no, the D, the letter D for Dave Digital. Double D's in the chat. No naughty emojis. Shout out to Dave Digital. Let's go. But anyway, I know someone's going to put the parentheses. And shout out to Do. What is going on, bro? Welcome in. There's the DDs. And Darren Does Things. DDTs for Darren Does Things. Yo, K Diggity. You guys are wild, bro. K Diggity, you cracked me up, bro. Big D, let's go. Shout out to Ventura. Bro, I'm about to put shout out to Tony D. Get out of here, Tony. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue. Yo, the cherries emoji. Come on. There we go. But anyway, let's continue on here. Free the nip. Oh, my God. But yeah, that is, that's kind of how I'm handling things. Am I bullish or bearish, right? I'm bullish going into Q4 for the most part, unless we see something that changes my mind. But again, as we come up, we have to anticipate that the trend is your friend until the end. So there you go. Now, another thing I want to cover before we jump into the altcoins, guys, is kind of what we wind up seeing. Why am I expecting higher prices in Q4? And the simple reason is it's typically what we see happen, right? Now, like I said, recently, obviously we've just been going sideways, right? And I always kind of compare this to the summer, right? Very often during the summers, we have this boring sideways price action. It's lower volume. People have lives. People are, the big traders are on vacation. They're out doing stuff during the summer. So it's not uncommon to see these sideways price action during the summer, right? Right now, we're seeing it. Back here, we had a very large sideways range. Most of this was the summer, basically starting in March. Basically the exact same thing we saw here, right? Starting in March, going all the way to where we are now and potentially beyond. But starting in March, right? Grab this. Same thing, March all the way to August, into September, completely sideways. Even back here, right? Starting in, this sideways price action was all the summer, June, July, August, and then eventually October, November comes in, we get the big move down. Now, again, you might be saying, well, Frankie, why would you expect to move up if that's not always the case, right? And I was talking to the premium Discord about this. It also has to do with where we are in the cycle, right? Back here, there was a higher likelihood that we were continuing into the bear market during the summer consolidation, right? October comes in, right? We're not in the 4-year cycle where we typically see we were nowhere near the halving at that point. So there was really no reason to expect, that Q4 to be super, super bullish, right? So for that case, we were looking lower and we wound up getting the bigger move, right? And then even back here in 2020, right? 2020, right? May, June, July, August, and then into September, October, November. That's really that Q4 where you start seeing the bigger moves, right? And even here, right? Summer sideways into September 2023, big move up, right? And now we're doing the same thing. So again, not that this just has to repeat, but you guys can just see that like almost every summer or a lot of the summers just wind up being these large, boring ranges. And then it's into Q4 where you either see the bigger moves up or the bigger moves down. And in this particular area of the cycle, it is probably going to be more likely that if things play out in the 4-year cycle like we typically see, it's probably going to be a move to the upside if I had to guess, right? And again, there's a lot of things that go into play here, the geopolitical situation, the macroeconomics. There's so much that goes into this, but that's kind of why I would anticipate, and what is to happen, what is likely to happen until we see that. Again, that's where I'm a little bit more neutral. So in the long term, definitely bullish. I do think we're going to see that 81 to 100K Bitcoin coming in at some point, right? We're pretty close to Q4, right? Like time goes fast. Summer's coming to an end. We're in August. We're more than halfway through August. September comes quick. And, once we go into Q4, that could be where we start to see the bigger move. It's also an election year, which is typically bullish for the markets. So unless we see some kind of black swan event, which isn't uncommon during this time, but you can't really predict black swans. That's why they're called black swans. But, unless we get some kind of crazy black swan event, that could potentially be likely to track and be similar to the previous cycles or even just the previous areas of consolidation that we've had within this same cycle, right? But what is likely to happen up until that point, this is where I lean a little bit more neutral, right? This is where I'm leaning, could we see that break of the, downtrend here and see that bull flag just break up early? Potentially. There's really no, who knows, right? There's no way to really know. But, that's where I'm neutral, right? Maybe we break up. Maybe we get a bigger drop to the downside. Again, money flow would be calling for this bigger drop to the downside for the most part. So that is definitely in the cards, a potential drop. By the way, next key level of support I'll be looking down there will be about $47,500 where we have a couple of naked points of controls. So again, if this is going to play out like that last 4th of July dump where we look for the lower high, indeed get it. Everyone gets super bullish. We look for the lower high, break structure to the downside. If we see something like that again and we get that rejection at 65, 67, or maybe even a little bit higher, and we get that rejection to the downside to break structure again to lower prices, the key level will be $47,500. That'll be the first major level of support I will be watching. But again, it's an if this, then that statement. So that's kind of how I break things down. So I am bullish on Bitcoin, right? But I just don't know. Like maybe we just go sideways until September. Who knows? But we'll have to watch, right? The nice thing is every day we print new information on the chart that we can help to make our decision. So there you go. Hopefully that helps you guys out. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Hang on. Shout out to Dave said, I will make room. The only reason I got a wrench on any channel was the experience to get a wrench on this channel for real. Shout out to Dave Digital. Let's go. Dave is a mod on this channel, guys. He is the most unofficial mod, which I don't know. I kind of feel like, I don't know. Shout out to Dave Digital. He's building up the resume. Dave, you are already a part of this team, bro. Blue wrench or not, you are already a part of this team, bro. Shout out to Dave Digital. If you know, you know. Shout out to Dave, though. That's funny, though. Building up the experience. I did 2 years over at Face. I did 3 years over at Tom Crown. Make it official. Shout out to Dave Digital. But yeah, you guys are funny, man. Hashtag wrench for Dave. Should we start a movement? Hashtag wrench for Dave. I love it. Let's see. Shout out to DMB Smurf said, quick, everyone buy some BTC. Let's pump this B. Shout out to DMB Smurf. Maybe we could pump it. That'd be fire. But anyway, let's continue on. Shout out to Hodl Crypto says, hashtag wrench'em. Shout out to Shackle. Shackle says wrench'em. Let's go. Double D's in the chat to wrench Dave. Let's go. I don't know if we could do it tonight, but shout out to Dave. Let's see. Is there a blue wrench emoji? I don't think there is. I think there's only one. But anyway, let's continue on here. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Flame said, my BTC entry is 50K and am more than 50% loss on alts. Please give me some good news regarding alts. So speaking of alts, shout out to Flame. Drop your favorite altcoins in the chat if you guys want me to take a look. We're going to take a few requests here. I already have a couple I want to take a look at. But here's the thing, right? With the altcoins, shout out to Dave Digital. DD's in the chat. Can I get banned on my own? Wait, Rob, can you time me out? Rob the Crypto Snob dropping the hammer. But the Mafia's picking up the slack. I love it. You guys are hilarious. Hey, this is great engagement. Maybe we'll pop into the algorithm a little more. But anyway, yes, you can. Can you really? Hang on a second. Can you really time me out? Somebody time me out. One of the mods. If you could time me out, time me out. Put me in the timeout corner. Tony T said Rob timed out. I'm weak. Oh, God. Shout out to Dave Digital. Free Dave. Hashtag free Dave. But anyway, let's continue on here, guys. We're going to take a look at Ethereum. I want to take a look at Ethereum. We'll take a look at Solana. We'll take a look at XRP. Those are kind of like the three that we always take a look at. And then drop your altcoins in the chat. We'll take some requests. Rob the Crypto Stomp will count up the votes and let us know what we're looking at. You guys are cracking me up. I've been trying to ban Tony and Rob for months. We cannot time you out. Oh, this is fire. I could time Tony out. Oh, my God. Tony will just block me out of the YouTube account, though. But anyway, shout out to Tony T. Franklin Candelabra, public fib puller at large, wants to see LTC. I'm pinning that just for the name. I love that. Franklin Candelabra, fib puller at large is crazy. But anyway, guys, let's take a look at Ethereum while chat goes nuts here. Taking a look at the weekly time frame. Weekly green dot is potentially looking to print here. And this, I'll be honest, Ethereum's looking very similar to Bitcoin, right? We have the 3-day money flow crossed into the red. The 4-day money flow is kind of in the same situation as the 4-day money 4-day money flow on ETH is in a similar situation as the 3-day money flow on Bitcoin, where we're about to get that crossover into the red. 4-day green dot is printing. 3-day green dot's confirmed, so it does look a little bit different. 5-day green dot looking to print. 6-day weekly green dot coming, or VWAP is coming up. But again, right, like in the short term here, and I'm going to pull up some key levels for you guys in just a minute to make some sense of this. But this is, let's just pull up the levels here, right? So the current range right now is, and let me, what keeps happening to my volume profiles? I don't know why these keep disappearing. But taking a look here, right? This is really, this is pulled, the range is pulled a little bit differently, but it's fine. We'll just look at these levels. This is, as we kind of hang out below this major volume profile, this is kind of the big range on Bitcoin that we've been kind of just sitting in. On Ethereum, where Bitcoin has already gotten the move up into the golden pocket and is starting to pull back here, right? And this is where we're looking to get above 63K, come up to 64 to 65K. Ethereum has not really gotten the move up to this key level yet. Now, this is your next key level of resistance. Not only do you have the value area low, you also have this golden pocket retracement. So this is going to be that next big level of resistance that I would be looking at. And I don't think it's going to be completely impossible to get that move up into this resistance, right? And the reason for that is if we do wind up, let me pull up the VPVR really quickly, right? We do have this little low volume gap sitting just above us. So I would say the if this then that here would be if we could get above this high volume node sitting at about 2667, crack these highs, we may be able to see Ethereum start to get going here into that golden pocket value area low confluence, which is definitely going to be the key level of resistance. And then here we could potentially look for not only look for resistance, but also look at this as the key level to flip to support. If you can get above this level and hold it, that is where we could potentially look up towards that 786 / larger golden pocket, sitting between about $31 and $3,200, right? And I will say, I'm not going to pull up all the confluences here, but I will say there is a lot of confluence on here, not only with the 786 golden pocket, but also with some previous value areas that we've been looking at from a long time ago. There's a lot of confluence to come up to this $31 to $3,200 zone. So first level of resistance sitting right here between 28.74 and 29.48. Flip that to support, looking up here between $31 and $3,200. This is, in my opinion, a stronger level of resistance than this is. So keep that in mind. But the importance here is if we can get above that value area low, that's where you're anticipating to come up and potentially fill your range and hole, understanding where your key levels of resistance are, right? You know there's a possibility of rejecting the 786 golden pocket here, but you're also looking at this as a potential journey up to your value area high. So there you go. That is, I mean, this is the same situation Ethereum's been in forever, right? Ever since we got the drop down, right? Same thing as Bitcoin. We've just been doing this for, 15 days. We've just kind of been stuck in the situation. 2 weeks, right? So there you go. That is the major higher time frame levels. I do want to bring up some of the shorter term levels as well. Why is this POC not populated here? Why does this keep happening to me? Put that POC here. Bada boom. I'm actually going to label this label this macro POC. Boom. Okay. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and I want to pull up the local levels here for Ethereum. Now, with the money flow, let's pull up Market Cipher real quick. This is the local range, very similar to Bitcoin, right? It's all there, very similar. I don't think I have this marked out, at least on this chart. So I'll pull this current, right? So pull this, bada boom, right? So this would be the current range I'm looking at on Ethereum. So pull from the high to the low here. Bada boom. Actually, let me see something real quick. I'm actually going to show this on this chart. Because I actually have these levels already marked out here. Hang on one sec, guys. I'm going to pull up my face cam. I don't want to leak anything from the premium Discord. I want to be fair to the people who pay. So let me actually go ahead and hide some of this stuff. Boom. Boom. Okay. So let me hide this. Sorry, guys. I don't want to leak any premium stuff here. It's not fair. Boom. And hide this as well. Okay. So for the most part, this is what I'm looking at for ETH, right? The local range. There's kind of two ways to look at this, right? Number one, you can look at this previous range. This has been respected so far. You guys can see we are getting the bounce here. Actually had a long setup in the premium Discord from all the way down here, or all the way back here, I should say. Dropped it. This was a long setup from the 13th, just started to play out. We got to move into the POC for a TP1, but then we came back down to the value area low. But as long as we remain above this value area low, we could potentially approach the POC, flip that POC, and look to come to the value area high, sitting at $2,700. So this is very simply put the local levels that I would be paying attention to on Ethereum. So if you're not interested in waiting for those longer term levels, this is kind of what I'd be looking at for ETH, right? POC, or value area low sitting at 25.75, POC sitting at 26.48, and value area high 27.05. And again, as long as you stay above that value area low, I would potentially anticipate to finish kind of trolling through this volume profile, finally hitting that value area high. Now, another way you could look at this is obviously to pull that pull this volume profile to the current price, right? So if we do break that value area low, in my opinion, one of the kind of not last levels, but one of the big levels of support I would be looking at would be sitting here on the golden 786. Whoops. Come on. 786. Oh my God, I'm getting trolled right now. You have this 786 value area low confluence sitting right here at about 25.49. So if we do wind up getting a move back down there, you do have confluence there for a potential bounce, right? So again, it's not if you lose that value area low immediately, it doesn't mean that you can't get saved by that golden pocket. But for the most part, this is going to be that main range that I'm looking at price action in, right? You also have this big wick down here. Could be an opportunity to look for a liquidity grab, close that candle above, come back into the range, and fill in full. But again, for the most part, stay above this 25.70 level. I think we could potentially continue up. So there you go. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Let's see. Yo, ticker sign. Yo, ticker DD for Dave Digital. Let's go. Dave, I bet you I'm 150. What's mine? Once in a while, you should leak something from premium. I mean, why not? Shout out to Dave Digital. Yeah, we actually do. Sometimes I do leak those charts. Nothing really like super, super secretive. But we do. This isn't a leak. This is like a new channel. This is not important. But if you guys get in the dining room, if you guys, and this is for something, if you have used our affiliate link to get into any of our, to sign up for any of our exchanges that I use, if you use our affiliate link and you are not signed up for the dining room, and you are looking for, you could kind of think of this as a free trial to the premium, right? And this is where we wind up posting once a week. We drop a premium TA post. Sometimes, a lot of times they're setups. You'll see if you scroll through here. A lot of times they are trade setups. A lot of times they play out. Not all of them, right? It's never financial advice. But if you want to kind of get a free, once a week we do drop a post in here with TA or trade setups. If you want to kind of get like a taste of what we do in the premium, all you have to do is sign up with one of our affiliate links. If you already have, there's no reason not to get this free value, right? So you guys can check. You just come in down here. I know you can't see my mouse, but all of our exchanges are here. You simply, let's say you trading on our Blowfin link or whatever it is, you come in here, drop your user ID, hit submit, and then just give the mods a couple days to get you in there, and you will get access to all of these channels. We are planning on changing some of this. We want to add a little bit more value, update these channels, fix what's not working, take away what we don't like, and change it. But really, the real value here for the most part is that premium TA. So if you want to get into that, go ahead and check it out. And then, yeah, sometimes we do leak it just on the live stream. But let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Dave Digital. Let's go. Let's see. Yeah, shout out to Div X-Ray. What is going on, bro? Good to see you in here. He said in Canada they limit how many altcoins you can buy. Talk about annoying. Literally force you into BTC and ETH only. Shout out to Div X-Ray. I used to live in New York, as you guys know. Kind of a similar situation there. So yeah, that is Yeah, I remember for a while, especially like back in 2017, and yeah, you're like very, 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 very limited on stuff. So that was very annoying. I don't have to deal with that anymore. I think they probably fixed those issues anyway. But yeah, very, very annoying. I know you. I feel your pain, bro. I was unable to get so many altcoins back in the day. Shout out to What's Crypto. Yeah, that helps sometimes, for sure. But let's see. Okay, just letting a dog out. Hold the sauce. Shout out to Mike E20. Let me know what kind of dog you have. I may come take it from you because I love dogs. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Dave Digital said, TF. This is the OG stream, only the O of the Gist. Shout out to Dave Digital. Let's go, bro. Good to see you in here, bro. I know you're a busy man. He's out there getting swole. So, I'm happy to, not see you as much if it's good for you, brother. But I know you're busy, but it's so good to have you in here, bro. Like, Dave, you are like a staple of the Mafia. It really is like this community would not be the same without Dave Digital. I think if you've been here, you know that. But let's go ahead and continue on. Oest of G's. Yeah, KuCoin, Enzo Mining. Yeah, KuCoin was the GOAT with their DCA bots. I mean, talk about not wanting to keep the emotion. You want to kick out emotions out of your trading. Use the DCA bots if you can get on KuCoin. But anyway, let's continue on here. That's what I'm looking at on Ethereum. And you can see here, hopefully we can get that trade set up to finally play out in full to the value area high. But again, getting a little push up there. But let's go ahead. I want to jump into Solana, which, by the way, is still kind of just hanging out in the same place that we left it. And let me actually go ahead and let me group this, hide that, and pull up the real range that we're looking at. Now, if you guys remember to last week, for some reason on TradingView, when I drop my fixed range volume profiles in a folder, they get deleted. But if you guys remember to last week, this is the major range for Solana. And again, I'm not going to spend too much time on this because it is pretty... It's very it's like hasn't moved, right? But as you guys know, on Friday's live stream, I actually pulled a bars pattern here on this little area of price action, right? And the reason I did that was because it's very similar to what we're seeing here. Now, in the context of this volume profile, we had, right? And remember, with the volume profiles, the reason we love trading these is because it gives you an idea of where your overbought levels are, right? And where your oversold levels are, right? And then obviously, as you come up into the value area high and you deviate above the high, this is what you're looking at as an overbought asset, and that's where you look to short back into the range, back to the POC, back to the low. This is an oversold asset, or AKA a cheap asset. This is where you're looking to buy it back into the range, back up to the POC, and then hopefully back up to the value area high. But, let me get that bars pattern back real quick. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, bro. I'm going to pin that to the top of the chat. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. I almost timed you out, bro. I did. I timed Tony out for 10 seconds, and now I'm just my mouse just goes right to that channel, right to that button. There we go. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate you, brother. But as you guys can see here, right, deviate above the high, back into the range, back to the low, right, back to the POC, back to the high, deviation, back to the low, deviation, back to the POC, and this is where I was looking at this bars pattern, saying, hey, once you dump from the high, get accepted back into the range, you go to the POC and then the low. And right now, right, we have deviated below the low, come back into the range, and then we get the move to the POC. And you guys can see we are starting to cling to this POC just a little bit. And this is where a lot of people, if you're new to using the volume profile, you might think to yourself, this is kind of sketchy, right? Because once you reject that POC, if we can't get back above this, we might be able to go back down to the low. But because we never hit that value area high, and remember, the POC is the area where the most volume was transacted and the strongest magnet within the profile, right? So it's not uncommon to see price kind of wiggle around on this POC, right? So the fact that we lose it doesn't necessarily mean that we're just definitely going to the value area low. And the fact that we haven't tapped that high reminds me of this price action back here, right? Where we came up, came down, lost the POC, lost the POC, lost the POC, but eventually we went to the high, right? And why would that have been expected? Well, because we never hit the value area high at that point, right? So, you look for that range to fill in full. And this is a very similar situation, right? Obviously, we're going to have to kind of change the size here a little bit. But this is very, very similar to what we're seeing happen here, right? You get up, right? You wiggle around here. You lose the POC, but potentially you could go back to the high. And again, that is based off the laws of the volume profile. And to be quite honest with you, 4-hour money flow continuing to the upside, 3-hour money flow also about to cross over into the green. Daily red dot. Hey, shout out to Mrs. Candles coming in with the Aztecian Cactus Moss Water. Thank you very much. You're the best. Let me hear a big oh, she's on the phone. She just came in here like a CEO. Dang, shout out to Mrs. Candles. You guys don't know this. Mrs. Candles run this thing. So yeah, I would be careful, right? This is kind of your like line in the sand. But, again, like if you can't get back above this, you are at risk of coming down to your value area low at 125. But again, just keep that in mind, right? Like especially, with the similarities that you're seeing here, there are many times, right? It doesn't necessarily guarantee it, right? You can see here we came up, lost the POC, and then we eventually went back down to the low. But again, these are the key levels, still just hovering around that POC. So yeah, that's your key level. Flip that to support. I would expect higher prices, potentially up to 170. If you can't get back above it, key levels down here. Golden pocket, daily, value area low. I would probably separate this into 2 levels. Between 125 and 130 is that next major key level of support. 786 sitting at 119. So yeah. Hey, shout out to K Diggity with a $50 super chat. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate you. He says, Frankie, thank you so much for being the most caring and humble YouTube channel on the planet. I'm gonna wear out this new, amazing, well-constructed, beautiful quality piece of Frankie Candles merch. Hashtag Givers Gain. Hashtag shout out Crypto Billy. Hey, shout out to K Diggity. I appreciate you so much for saying that, bro. I really do. Wait, K Dig, did you get merch or did you win a giveaway? Let me know in the chat, bro. I appreciate you so much for that $50 super chat. Thank you, bro. And thank you for saying those kind words, man. It really does mean a lot. It's that's what keeps me coming up here, right? I mean, other than the fact that I absolutely love this, it's the support of the community and the fact that all this really does help people, right? These super chats, just appreciating the community, appreciating the TA, appreciating the education here. Getting that feedback really, really, really makes me feel like fully fulfilled, right? It makes me feel like this is all for the reasons that I wanted to do it, right? So shout out to K Diggity. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing, and everybody responding to that. I love that. I love that you can respond to super chats. Dave Digital said, I joined a real gym today, but I didn't have shower shoes, so I'll have to start tomorrow. Shout out to Dave Digital. Let's go. I don't know what. I guess maybe you work out at home and now you're going to a gym. And I'm like, what is a real gym? But let's see. Speaking of Frankie Candles merch, I washed my hat in the dishwasher last night, and dang, the logo came off. Shout out to Dave Digital. Oh no. Dang. Shout out to Dave. That's the first time. Me and Tony D actually, if you try to rip these things off, they are on there. But shout out to Dave. That is a bummer, bro. Shout out to you. We'll have to we'll root for you in the next giveaway. Shout out to Dave Digital. We appreciate you, bro. That is a bummer though. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Creighton C. Hey yo, shout out. Oh my god, and Golden in the chat. Let's go. Shout out to Creighton C. Thank you for the $20 super chat. Said Frank, you ever heard of a stealth bear market? Doesn't feel like price has gone anywhere, but 6 months of lower highs and lower lows, slow grind, money flow out, 33% low, rallies stepped on, most alts are wrecked. Shout out to Creighton C. I mean, yeah, that is not the. I mean, all of that is 100% valid. I mean, this is absolutely brutal. Like, just completely a complete grind to the downside. And to be honest, guys, like this higher time frame money flow is not looking good, right? And I have to, when I come up here, right, there's only so much I can talk about on these higher time frames because they take so long to play out. And I feel like I do harp on them a lot, and I think a lot of people like start to think I'm a perma bear. But again, that's not really the case. But this is not the best look, right? Like there is a case to be made here. I mean, not that I have to say there's a case to be made because I talk about it all the time. Like this doesn't look that great. Now, does this mean that we are going to go down to 20K? Not necessarily, but does this mean that like you could get a little push up here and that lower low to come back in and come down not only to 47K, but potentially down to our next key level of support in the 40,000s between 44 and even $40,000 even. There's a lot of key levels down here. It's not just the naked value area. It's not just this macro golden pocket. It's also this monthly horizontal level, right? And again, I talk about this a lot. Shout out to Crane C. I'm so glad you brought that up because it's not the popular thing to come up here and talk about the bearish case, right? Like no one really wants to hear that. But again, right? Like my job is to come up here and give you guys what is on the charts, right? I have no care to come up here and tell you I think price is going up if I don't think that. But like there's a case to be made for this to play out right now. Again, this wouldn't necessarily mean that I would be looking for a long-term bear market, as if we were to bounce here, we could still potentially maintain higher lows on the higher time frames, bullish market structure, continuations up in Q4 potentially, right? But there is a case to be made here, right? And I would agree with you. Shout out to Creighton C. Like all those things are very valid, right? Like Alta Rect, right? And again, I was talking to the premium Discord earlier today. Remember, right, just like in the bear market, guys, oftentimes they scare you out, right? Scare you out, right? Scare you out, and then they try to bore you out. And we talked about this. I mean, even if you looked at it as like scaring you out and then boring you out, right? If they don't scare you out, like they get most people out here, and then they try to scare the rest of or bore the rest of them out by just like, oh my God, I'm still holding my alts from up here. I'm still holding my Bitcoin from up here. I've been down 85%. This thing has been going sideways for... Right, this thing's been going sideways for almost a year. I'm over it. I'm out, right? And then, like, a lot of times that is, the biggest pain point is that boring sideways price action. Just like everyone says that we're going into a bull market, and then eventually it does wind up happening. But just keep that in mind, right? You get the drops to the downside, and then, like, we just kind of been going sideways here. I mean, we didn't get big drops to the downside. Obviously, it's a reverse trend. But, this is oftentimes, right? I will say this, right? In the medium term, right? Like this is really the thing I'm a little bit more neutral on. Are we going to go down before we get the big break, or are we just going to go, are we going to go for it early? Again, like the cycles say that we're probably either going to continue sideways until September, October, and then get Q4 to give us the big move, or potentially get a drop down, and then finally in Q4 you get the big move. That's kind of what I'm unsure about right now. But there is definitely a case to be made that we could continue down, right? Like, and again, like. It's like everyone's like, it's bullish. There's no way we're going to 51K. And like, there we go, right? And it's not magical, right? It's not because I'm a wizard, right? Although I do think sometimes a lot of people do think I'm a wizard. They think I'm a crystal ball. But it's not just that, right? It's just the fact that like the trend is to the downside here, right? Like we have the high, the low, the lower high, the lower low, the lower high, the lower low. Like the trend is your friend until the end, especially with money flow continuing down, right? So that case is definitely valid, right? Maybe we reject the key level we have up here, right? Which again is the value area low golden pocket, right? So whether we get the 786, if we get the move down, whether it happens at the golden pocket or the 786, that would be the next move, would be to come down to these much lower prices. But again, it's not really until we start losing this range decisively that I would really be starting to get worried. So we have plenty of room to even come down here and still remain bullish in the long term. But shout out to Creighton C. Thank you for bringing that up, bro. I think it's a lot of people only want to look up. And you will save yourself a lot of money. And if you could short the market, like we show you how to make money trading Bitcoin, whether the price goes up or down, there is tons of money to be made on these moves down, right? I talked about this the other day. We are not just a slave to buying and waiting for the big bull market, right? Because you can make money up, and then at the top, we can make money down, right? Like this was another bull market for us because we could just short it, right? So you get the bull market up, bear market, make tons of money as well. And it's crazy. Like the fact that you're able to long and short all these different coins is an absolute blessing, because like my goal here is to turn people who thought, right? Like most people kind of ride the bull market, right? And then during the bear market, they kind of go on vacation, right? They're like, I'm over crypto for now. I'll just have to wait for the next big bull market. But you don't have to do that, because that next big bull market, right? Just alt-I, guys. Alt-I. Invert that chart. And that next, you just have another bull market coming in, right? If you're just, again, obviously inverting the chart. Big move up, big move down. And we could profit on this move down just like we make money on the way up. So keep that in mind. You don't have to leave. Just keep this in mind. Like if you left during this bear market and now you're back for the bull market, just know that the next bear market, you don't have to leave. You can make money as it goes down. So there you go. Frankie Candles let you know. Shout out to Creighton C. Thank you for the super chat. And shout out to Golden. Get to those Frankie Candles memberships. Let's go. Unbelievable. Shout out to Golden. I was actually just thinking about you, bro. I was like, hey, haven't seen Golden in a minute. He must have heard me. As you guys know, shout out to Golden. he was actually friends with Elon Musk, and he has a Neuralink. He's had it for a while, so he can just pick up brainwaves. So he must have heard me thinking about him. So shout out to Golden, bro. Thank you for those Frankie Candles memberships. And we were getting pretty gray in here, and now we got a lot more green. Thanks to our boy Golden. Drop those golden emojis if you just got a membership. We appreciate you, Golden. Thank you so much. Drop those golden emojis if you just got one. And Creighton C said, I said unlikely anything like 20K because bears are proportional. We had a 4X, not a 20X last cycle, 80% down. There was no price discovery this time. Time-wise as well, it's a short cycle. Small bear, 45K, maybe. Yeah. Okay, so shout out to Creighton C. Yeah. If you would consider, there's many ways to look at a bear market, right? Some people measure the bear market based off cycles. When you hear me mention a bear market, oftentimes I am referring to the 4-year cycle, right? And actually, if I pull up my cycle chart here, you could see, right? Like, so for me, when I refer to a bear market, I am simply referring to the 4-year cycle. So, right? So you have the halving, the high, and then the bear market, right? So the bear market, I am basically referring to as the once, it depends, right? Like technically you're either referring to it as the 4-year cycle or just a downtrend on a specific time frame. Like if you get into a weekly downtrend, you could consider that a bear market, right? Because the bears are in control, right? So you get the low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? So that's a bear market, right? When looking at the weekly. But you technically can have downtrends in an uptrend, right? Like technically here, I guess you didn't really have a structural weekly, like a full, have a high, a low, a lower high, a lower low. And I guess you did break the low, right? So you had a little downtrend here, which again, a lot of people argue that this was the top of that bull market, right? And this was like some kind of inflated dead cat bounce. So you could either describe a bear market based off the cycles or just a macro trend, right? You could call that potentially a bear market because at that point, right, it's a high, a low, a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Like that could be a bear. You could look at that as a bear market. But I would be looking at this. I would explain it as more of like a retracement, right? Even if you came into like 46, right, that would be your 786 retracement. But I wouldn't be looking at that as a bear market, even though it is a macro bear trend. There's really no right or wrong answer. I would agree with that. Shout out to Creighton C. Bro, sound analysis. 100% agree with you, bro. Let's see. Shout out to I'm not going to say your full name. This is a G-rated show, but shout out to you, bro. I'll call you Sig. Shout out to you, bro. He says, Frankie, do you have a specific volume profile indicator that you use? I have your free one on TradingView, but it doesn't look quite the same as your volume profiles. So my volume profile in collaboration with Lux Algo, by the way, shout out to Lux Algo, sponsor of the channel. Link in the description down below if you guys want to check out any of their awesome paid indicators. But if you don't have the money to shell out, you can check out Frankie Candles Essentials, which is essentially just a fixed range volume profile, right? So if I look at this in the long term, right, or on a higher time frame, I'll come to the daily, right? This is the same thing as a regular fixed range. This is exactly like the fixed range on TradingView, right? It has a 70% value area, which is like all it is measuring the candles that you are selecting, right? So if I grab my TradingView volume profile, right, and I pull that same exact range, you're going to get you're going to get the exact same range. Same POC, same value area high, same value area low. I actually think I went one candle to the left here. That's why it's a little different. But no, if you're using the Frankie Candles Essentials volume profile, it is the exact same one as the one on TradingView. It just looks a little bit different just because it's designed a little differently, right? And a lot of that you can change, right? If I did 250 on my rows, right? I kind of glitched out there. Go 100. There you go, right? Like, so you could change all this stuff. This is really just a preference. But yeah, 70 value area. As long as you have a 70% value area, it should be exactly the same as the fixed range on TradingView. Very simply put. And the only difference here is that this has auto divergence detection with the sauce can emojis, which let you know when you're getting bearish signals above a volume profile. And then as you get that, this is a confirmation signal. You do not want to trade this as sauce can pops up short the market or sauce can pops up long the market. That's not how it works. But you have auto divergence detection, and then those sauce cans will let you know if it's happening outside the value area. It's letting you know, hey, this could potentially be an acceptance back into your range, back to the POC, back to the low, right? Same thing here, back to the POC, back to the low. And again, depending on what time frame you're looking at, It is very reliable, right? A lot of people really, really, really love the Frankie Candles Essential. And again, this is 100% free. This is no email, no nothing. Like, you just come on here, search my name, click it, and it's yours, right? You just get to use it. So yeah, there we go. Bada boom. I like to hide the fibs a lot just to clean up the chart. And then again, you could select where you look for your bear divs or bull divs. You can click external and use whatever indicator you like to find your divergences on. Where is it? Light blue waves, right? So I picked Market Cipher B because I usually look for my divergences on Market Cipher. And you can see here, right? We deviated above this range. This was likely very different at the time. But you have divergence, sauce can, lower highs, back to the low, right? And if I went to a lower time frame, like right up here, right, we probably had lower time frame bear divs. Bada boom. Okay, so it didn't pick it up on that time frame. There we go. Come on. There we go. Right. So you come up, bearish divergences, higher highs on your price action. It's actually picking up the exact divergence from here to here. But that's basically how it works, right? That's basically how it's calculated, right? It's basically just letting you know, hey, you have a divergence outside of your volume profile, like very similar here, right? Lower lows on your price action, higher lows on Market Cipher B. You get the divergence, sauce can, because it's happening outside the volume profile, letting you know that you could get back into the volume profile, flip that to support, go back to the POC, and hopefully back to the value area high. We didn't quite make it there that time. And then right here again, right? Lower lows, higher lows, sauce can to the POC, and potentially the value area high. Very simply put. Right? It basically just takes my trading strategy and simplifies it in one easy-to-use indicator for you guys. And again, it's 100% free. If you're interested in the paid indicators, which are awesome, I have tons of videos on the channel about it. We talk about them on the live stream all the time. Link in the description down below. Shout out to Lux Algo. But anyway, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. We're going to need you to post some karaoke clips in the Piano Matty B server. Hey, shout out to Maso. What is going on, bro? Said Frankie, hope everything is well. Shout out to you, bro. Everything is going great. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you for tuning in, and I hope everything is well with you as I was going to say as well, but I should say also. But let's go ahead and continue on here. Jumping on into Dogecoin. Bada boom. And maybe we'll just take a look at Dogecoin on the where are we? Live stream Doge. Bada boom. Yeah, maybe we could take, gotta move down on Doge to the macro POC. I'll come over to the daily, take a look at this. All right, macro POC. You got the 2-day and the daily bullish divergences. Higher lows, lower lows. Could get that continuation up. You do have that 2-day green dot printing, very similar to Bitcoin. So as long as we remain above this value area high, we could get that move up to our next key level of resistance, which is this value area low at about 13 cents. Now, it's not the only level of resistance because you have this golden pocket between 11 and 12 cents, and then the 786 here at 13 cents. But again, right, we're just looking at this as value, right? You have a value area up here, value area down here. As long as you're in the middle, right, price is likely going to seek out one of these value areas, right? It's either going to come up to the previous value up here or get accepted back into the previous value down here. So again, as long as you stay above the value area high, we could look for a move up until we hit this resistance. Once you get back in here, we could get accepted into this old area of balance. This is the same situation we've been looking at on Dogecoin for quite some time. So the long-term situation remains exactly the same. And let me actually just pull up a clean Dogecoin chart because I'll give you some local levels as well. Bada boom. We'll pull up the Coinbase chart here real quick. And I will, let's see here. Let's pull the Frankie Candles Essentials real quick. Okay. So got the move up to the POC. Hide this. Just clean up the chart. You can also check out hidden bullish divergences too. Will auto-populate. And you could just see, like, popped up right here. Like, they're very reliable. But again, you don't trade the sauce cans as buy or sell signals. Very important to realize. But yeah, right now, this would kind of be the volume profile that I would be looking at on Dogecoin. Bada boom, bada bing. So yeah, key level to get above right now is about right here, 10 cents, almost even, right? Get above that. This is the volume profile, right? Let me grab my, horizontal ray. Boom. Mrs. Candles is playing football in the other room. She's banging around. I don't know what the heck she's doing. But yeah, we get above this. I would look to potentially get above the POC and fill the rest of this range. These are the key levels above, very simply put. Get rid of the hidden. But yeah, let me actually... Yeah, I mean, you have this larger volume profile as well, but I would probably be watching this. So yeah, these are the key levels. Value area low at 10 cents, POC at 10.1027, and then your value area high is sitting up here at about 0.10742. So these are the key levels. Yeah, fighting this resistance a bit here. Let's check the 8-hour. Green dot looking to print. Let's check that 30-minute money flow. Yeah, it's similar to Bitcoin, right? If we are going to, yeah, I'm shocked. Oh, is this not on? Hang on, let me change this to Market Cipher real quick. Did I not? Light blue wave. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so. Yeah, I'm actually shocked. Yeah, I'm watching this 24 and 30-minute money flow. If we're going to get this move up to the POC and the value area high, really what I would look for is this 24 and 30, same thing on Bitcoin and Ethereum. 30 and 24-minute money flow crossovers into the green with your 8-hour green dot printing. That would be what I'd look for to start the move, right? Come on, baby. Give me the profile. There it is. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, you did get the bull divs down here. Money flow crosses over into the green, and that is where I would look. We'll see. We'll see if this plays out, right? Get above the value area low, go to the POC, go to the value area high. I'll even leave this line here, right, because maybe it'll play out. If it doesn't, it'll be super embarrassing, and I'll have to shut down the YouTube channel because I was wrong. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here. That's what I'd be looking at on Dogecoin. All right, let's see. All right, let's take a look at Polkadot. Bada boom. Polkadot. There we go. Take a look at the daily. Okay, so I'll be honest here, right? Like Polkadot is at bear market lows. This does not look super great, right? But for the most part, you are deviated below your bear market volume profile, right? So let's see. Yeah, I have to save my default settings on this indicator. Oh no, we're on Market Cipher. Okay. So, to be honest here, we'll get rid of this, right? We did get a little bounce back to the POC, but I'll be honest, right? This is, I mean, you're below your volume profile. You got your no bull div here on the 16. Let's check the 2-day. Yeah, 2-day didn't give you much here on the green dot. Let's check the 3-day green dot, 4-day green dot, 5-day green dot, 6-day looking for the green dot. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? This is not necessarily where I would be shorting Polkadot, right? I'm not shorting down here at the lows. Does it mean that you can't come down more? Not necessarily. Shout out to Sig says, thank you for the volume profile lesson. Shout out to you, brother. We do it every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on the YouTube channel. Let's see. Maso said we lost all our money on Polkadot. Yeah, I mean, this has been pretty brutal, right? Like pretty. I guess a lot of the altcoins have gotten pretty dumped on, right? Especially a lot of the new ones. Yeah, XRP still chilling. Ondo. I mean, all these altcoins are taking quite a beating here. But take a look at Polkadot here, right? Like we are below the volume profile. I will say this, like this is not necessarily where I am FOMO shorting Polkadot, right? You have VWAPs coming up on the higher daily time frames. 2-day green dot is confirmed, right? You don't really have the divergences, which is kind of a bummer. But yeah, I would not be like FOMO shorting Polkadot here. Personally, doesn't mean we can't come lower, right? Just because I'm not shorting it doesn't mean we can't come lower. But I would not be shorting this, right? Money flow coming up on the 6 hour. Money flow does not look bad here on these. Yeah, you spent a lot of time in the red here, right? And like, I don't think, yeah, like perfect rejection on that value area low. But yeah, like money flow coming back up here could see a little bit of a recovery, in my own personal opinion, as that 6 hour money flow comes up, 8 hour money flow comes up. But again, like these higher time frames are a little bit washy, right? Like VWAP's kind of wonked here, 10 hour kind of wonked, 6 hour kind of wonked, right? But overall, money flow is trending up. So hopefully you can get a little move up here. One thing I can tell you for sure is that 488 is the level to get above, right? You got to get above 488, above that value area low. That is your mission. It is going to be resistance until proven otherwise, but get above that value area low, look for the bigger move up to the POC, and then the value area high. And that is what I'd look for. But other than that, definitely not FOMO shorting. But again, also not like the super most strong, confirmations to look for longs, right? You had 4 hour bull divs, money flow coming up. A lot of times that's a strong bottom. Whoops. Let me see. So yeah, I mean, lose that 786, things could get ugly. But again, I wouldn't be FOMO shorting Polkadot here. But let's see, bada boom, bada bing. I thought I read you were Swifty somewhere. That's a great weight off my back. Shout out to Kate Diggity. I don't know who that's in reference to. But let's see. Okay, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. K-Dig, here's some insider knowledge. Wifey, Wick hates T-Swift. Okay, shout out to Wick's wife and Wick, fine 89. Whoa, Wick, fine it. Wick, 589. Wick's wife, fine 89. Well, shout out to Wick. You're fine too. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here, guys. Taking a look at Caspa. Actually, have not taken a look at Caspa today, and I am actually interested to see what wound up happening here because I remember on Friday's live stream, we were watching, let me see here, where are we? Friday was the 16th. Man, I don't really actually remember exactly what we were looking for, but yeah, I mean, geez, things were actually, I think what we were looking for was sideways. So yeah, like unless we broke that golden pocket, and still remains the same. If we flip that golden pocket, 786 daily and weekly naked point of control, sitting right here between 18 and 19 cents, 1867 and 1944. That is going to be your next key level to look at if we get the move up. But until then, golden pocket remains key resistance. And again, just still kind of going sideways here. If we look locally, local volume profile I would be watching would be sitting right here. Bada boom, sitting between value area heights 0.1686 POC sitting at 0.1659, value area low at 0.15, almost 16 cents, but 0.1592. So this is going to be the local value area that I would be watching. Bada boom. So yeah, very, very locally. You break that golden pocket, I'd be looking up towards the 786. But other than that, I would look to respect this level. If you break down below this macro value area high, that is what would open the door to a bigger move down, in my opinion. But until then, those are the local levels I would be watching. Let's see what we got going on market cipher. 6 hour green dot, 8 hour looking the same as everything else. If we get that 8 hour green dot, get that 30-minute money flow to continue up here. 24 is probably getting closer to the zero line. Yeah. I'd be looking for the 30 and 24-minute money flow. If we're going to get a bigger move up here, I would expect that to be the thing that starts the moves. So, let's see. For the shout out to Mark Dutch. Said for the 300 people who couldn't find the like button, it looks like this, and it's free to touch it. Shout out to Mark Dutch. You guys are funny. But yeah, shout out to you guys, and I think that is all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning in, and not only tuning in, but sticking around till the end of the stream. You guys are the absolute best community. But yeah, we'll have to see what goes on Bitcoin. If you guys missed my thoughts on Bitcoin, scrub to the beginning of the stream. We go over everything, not only the short term, the medium term, the long term, the macro. So go ahead and scrub back if you're just tuning in. But yeah, we'll see what happens here. Watch that daily red dot. Maybe we can get it to just get out of here, get the VWAP flip, and get that push to the upside. 65 to 66K is the next major level of resistance. 63K is the next local level, and we'll see what happens here. Like I said, I'm a little more neutral here in the medium term. Long-term bullish, medium-term neutral, short-term kind of bullish. So there you go. Let's see. But yeah, thank you guys for all the super chats. Golden, thank you for the 50 memberships. I appreciate you so much. Shout out to Creighton C with another super chat. Says, Fine 89 is a Swiftie, a clear and present danger to society. If this was the UK, she would already be in prison, or Canada or France, soon the US. And on that note, shout out to Creighton C. Shout out to Enzo Mining. Shout out to Mark Dutch. Shout out to Jiren. Says, thanks, Frankie. Thanks, Frankie. You earned my like as usual. Shout out to Jiren, bro. I appreciate you. Shout out to Mark Dutch. Shout out to K Diggity. Shout out to Retro Mike Tech. Wick 589. His wife, Fine 89. Hey, I heard that you, I don't know if you're totally fine, but it's you're not. You got bit by a cat. It's not what you thought it was. Thank God. Shout out to you, bro. I hope you're feeling better. And with all that being said, shout out to Gene. I'll see you guys next time tomorrow. Same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. Yo, shout out to Tony Roaz. Says, what up with some herp and derp patterns, Frankie. Shout out to Tony Roaz. But thank you guys for being here. I'll see you guys next time. That's all I got. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, though they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
DD's in chat. Double D's in the chat right now for Dave Digital. Shout out to you guys. I love each and every single one of you. Don't just say that because I'm on camera. I mean it because I love coming up here and hanging out with you guys every single day. GG's in the chat for Golden. TD's in the chat for Dave Digital. TT's in the chat for Tony D. And FC's in the chat for Frankie Candles. But forget me. Drop the other ones. I'll see you guys next time. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know, on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, we go. At the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on a roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on a roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll.